Yeah, it's really cool to read any articles about you and stuff, and like they always make sure to say you're from Tipperary, because seeing like Tipperary and hip hop in the same sentence stands out. Like it's so cool. Like
I say, but it's funny because it's made for it's kind of made the correlation between them. They're similar, you know what I mean? Because it's DIY. You know what I mean? It's kind of hip hop, rapping in general is every man for himself kind of a thing.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't have to come from a certain place.
No, because well, that's what Tipperary is. Tipperary is, you know, when you're forgotten about, nothing happens here. And like everybody from Tip is so angry at the cities because it's like they get everything. And it's like Dublin, they get everything. So you end up having to do everything yourself in the first place. So then it actually makes perfect sense.
Way of putting it. That's actually, welcome back to Everything From Nothing. Thanks to Jen again for that savage intro with the music done by Stevie. So we're doing this, music. You made the theme tune. Yeah. What was that like? It's very cool.
It was good. I don't know, I just kind of... There was some other theme tune in my head that I thought of, and I tried to go for something like that and came up with that. So.
Yeah, it works very well.
Sounds good.
Thankfully you liked it, because I had no plan B. Like.
Nice one. Thanks to Jennifer Ryan Kelly as well for making the intro. Check her out on Facebook and Instagram. You'll find her amazing artwork there. So we're back again with a new guest. This week's guest is a producer and a master of words. He may have already reached the heights of Ireland, but thankfully this man has no limits, and I think he can fly, because he's still without a shadow of a doubt up and coming, thanks to his talented, thought-provoking and fiercely passionate hip-hop creations. It's Gavin Doyle, but just as remarkably, it's GavinDaVinci. How are you keeping?
That's a good intro. I appreciate that intro. I need that when I'm going out on stage. I need it.
How are you keeping anyway?
Very good, man.
Yeah? Good. So how did you get into hip hop, or how long, I suppose, starting at the basic, like how?
Oh well.
Have you all?
I grew up around it, I suppose. I had two older brothers. And heavily influenced on my music, but I had 5 older siblings, and I suppose whatever they played, you listened to. It just became from that. You know, you don't think about back then. But like I went to sleep with like Eminem and Tupac. You know what I mean? Because they used to play music, you used to go to sleep, or be Cypress Hill or System of a Down or Nirvana or something like that. Nice. So it was always, I just went to sleep with it, you know. So
nice.
Music was just like in your something head, to have fun with. You know, always was.
And when did you first start making up your own bits and pieces?
Oh well, I think I always wanted to. I always chanced my arm at writing songs and stuff. You know.
You're the youngest in the family then, yeah?
Second youngest boy, and younger sister. She's a good singer too, so I think music was always it was fun for us always. It was always seen as something fun, you know?
That's class.
And I was always kind of messed up, but when I was about 14, 15, and I wasn't in school and stuff like that, like it just became a nice outlet, you know? It became a way of reattaching myself to the world.
Were they your first audience?
Yeah, because
the family.
Oh kind of. But my first audience was me for years. I was the only person I wouldn't play for anybody. It wasn't for anybody else.
It's just for yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't. Cool. You know, it was a way of trying to just realigning myself with the world again. After when you're expelled from school and you have things like that going on, you don't really leave home and stuff. You get lost.
Yeah,
you know, kind of. It was just a nice way to get back into it.
Find your thing, like.
Yeah.
And your home is Clonalty as well, which most people listening or watching this aren't even going to have heard of Clonalty. And for those who are watching this, are going to be very surprised to see that one of Ireland's next greatest hip hop artists is from Clonalty.
That's it.
What's the crack with that? Like, I wonder, was it like so? You definitely didn't get any influence, like, from the parish, I'm assuming.
No. The opposite. The opposite. Like, we grew up as rebel places. It's all for rebels. Like, I grew up at vintage rallies where the rebel hearts be playing. In school, there'd be rebel songs sang. There was always a rebellious nature to it anyway. So it was always old Irish stuff. And because of that, I used to hate it. Because when I used to go in, I used to be so angry that I wouldn't go in and hear Tupac.
I'd be like, it's a rebel heart.
Why? I don't want to hear. I don't care who are these black and tans. And I always thought it was racist because it wasn't explained to me. I always thought they were on about people. There's skin colour, and I used to be thinking black people are
just pure
like that.
KKK up in Clonarty.
Yeah, full on. It took me till I was about 11 or 12, and I was like, I get it. I get it. And, I could appreciate it then. But yeah, no, geez, I know. Well, I'm actually blessed because the parish around Clonarty, they totally back it, like, completely. You know, they're all for, like, the...
You're the new rebel music, huh?
That's it, though. That's what it is,
like,
you know, and it's because I think that rebellious nature of the place in itself, and it was very much about... So Clonarty was about Clonarty, that's what it was about, you know what I mean? Everyone from there, it was all the same thing. If you're from Clonarty, you're kind of together and all this kind of... So, but there was a rebellious side to it, so... It has translated over, which I didn't think it would.
That's class. That's really cool.
Because even just done a gig in St. Stephen's night, and like a bus of like 26 young fellas from Clonarty come in.
That's unreal.
You know, and
that's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's mad, like, you know. But
yeah, it's really cool to read any articles about you and stuff, and like they always make sure to say you're from Tipperary, because seeing like Tipperary and hip hop in the same sentence stands out. Like it's so cool. Like
I say, but it's funny because it's made for. It's kind of made the correlation between them. They're similar, you know what I mean? Because it's DIY. You know what I mean? It's kind of hip hop, rapping in general is every man for himself kind of a thing.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't have to come from a certain place.
No, because well, that's what Tipperary is. Tipperary is, you know, when you're forgotten about, nothing happens here. And like everybody from Tip is so angry at the cities because it's like they get everything. And it's like Dublin, they get everything. So you end up having to do everything yourself in the first place. So then it actually makes
really
perfect sense.
Way of putting it.
You know?
Actually,
do you feel there was a point like where you went from messing around yourself to becoming like GavinDaVinci? Like when was that crossover?
Turnover.
There must have been a point where you went, "This is it."
Yeah, I can't remember what.
Or was it gradual?
It was actually a New Year's Eve.
Was it?
And I named myself GavinDaVinci through a song.
Wow.
And actually the girl I was with at the time, I used to rap for her. She was actually my first audience, in fairness to her. She was actually my first audience. And I said it in the song, and she was like, "That's cool. That's a cool name."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's a cool way to say it." Before then, I was Gavin D. I was I didn't have any name, you know. But once then, it just kind of hit me, like, it
resonated then.
Yeah, and then I just went from there.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know?
And was there, like, because before that, like, was there, so, like, obviously you'd been writing bits or whatever if you were performing a small bit, like, in front of a wide versus one person audience, but, like, I mean, what was the point where, like, so you were inspired by all these other, by all the other music you listened to? What was the point where you're like, oh wait, I can do that, like, I can give that a go? Was there,
it was actually, we were talking about it before, like, Mihal Ryder, it's like, he was the first guy I'd done it with, and it was actually him turned around and was like, you can rap, kind of thing. And it was literally just for the fun of us, just to make myself feel better, all this kind of stuff, because there's a lot of elements to it that just it brings out confidence and all this kind of stuff. You get to, like, wash your ego down, you get to, like, you know, just by saying everything you want to say,
that's
you know,
cool.
and then stuff like that. And then just from there, I just realised at some stage, okay, I've been actually doing this for about 2 or 3 years now.
Wow.
I'm actually you know what I mean, like, without thinking about it. And then it just became I didn't really have any other options, you know, and is all I wanted to do then. And I always liked being on stage, so I was like, I'm not afraid of attention. You know, so
I love that gig. It was very cool when you did that gig in Kendy's, which was in Thurles, and it was really cool to bring the Prescription. You're part of a collective called Prescription.
PX Music. We used to be Prescription.
Prescription
Prescription is outlawed now.
So,
but it's PX Music. It evolved into PX Music.
Is there a reason for that, or is that disclosed?
Yeah, it's a bit disclosed and stuff. But no, the Prescription boys, they started off before I was even in the city. They started off running gigs, running gigs. So they'd bring actual artists down from Dublin and places like that. And then it just evolved into there's a load of boys around from here actually that are sick. So we'd put on our own gigs for these. And then it became, we want to be a label. So we need our own header to go under, and then it became PS Music.
That's class. You're all like, so there's how many of you are there on the label?
Maybe eight or nine. Yeah, about 5 or 6 different artists.
It's really cool to see all the, like, so who's on it then? There's yourself,
me, Hazy Hayes, Citrus Fresh, as Wellington, Strange Boy used to be John and DK. You have Mankey, and then he's a producer, and then you have, like, other affiliates, like you have 40 Hertz, but they run their own labels in World One. You have Akia, who's Aaron Gallagher. He's actually from just outside Cashel there. Joe Gallagher's son, has a studio out there. So, and yeah, it's very much a Southwest thing, because you have like people, there's another label called Unseen, so you have Clerk 5, who's from Ennis. He's a part of it, and then we're affiliated with a lot of people in Cork and stuff.
That's really cool. It's really Munster based.
Yeah, but that's what it is. The Southwest, it's a Munster. It's meant to be.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
and you're all like, what's really cool about it is you're all individually growing at your own pace, but which is kind of seems to be like also helping each other grow. Like none of you are relying on each other in a sense, but you're all like just teaming up out of. Do you know, a lot of times like labels and stuff could be formed out of the like with the agenda of to just become one force. The gears is happening so naturally, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
You're all growing at your own pace, and it's all going to help each other, obviously.
100%. No, I think the trick with it is like when you find out you want to do it, it's just not fighting it. It's not trying to find it either. It's not looking for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's not fighting against it if it happens. Okay, that makes sense. Whatever makes sense, just go with that. You know what I mean? Like, all of it's kind of nonsensical that 8 young fellas from southwest of Ireland can get together and go, oh yeah, we might have been all in trouble before, I might have been all, like, we're not type of people, none of us are the type of people that are going to get jobs, we're not going to be able to work in anything else, and stuff like this, like, so we're all just, it just kind of,
this is like what it's meant to be, like.
We just don't think about it. It just flows,
and that's a cool way of putting it, because just like you're not, it's like the confidence then can come from like, it's like you're getting the confidence because like this is the thing you're supposed to do, so like, and it's like you nearly have tunnel vision. Like.
Was there a point where you realised that you're not, you know what I mean, you're not going to get a job, that you're going to do this, that you're free to do this, you can do this, and the time is yours basically?
I said just finished Utrecht. I'm 19. I had just done Utrecht, and even after, just my own personality and stuff, and just I think working for others and not with others. I'm more cherish working with people rather than for people. And it just, even if I found a good person, if I had to work for them, it's harder to appreciate the relationship or whatever. Working with people was always the place I wanted to go at, and music is just, I knew that I'd want to put in the next 4 or 5 years of learning, and it's art. So just art is fun, and art is kind of, you kind of,
guess music is exactly that as well. Like, well, in some sense, like mostly music should be you're working with people, not for people. If you're working for people, you're probably sold your soul for some contract.
That's it. And look, there's no money around here to even even do that in the first place. So we're grand. You know, like, we're not making any money yet, kind of a thing. And that's the way it was from the start. It was even, there wasn't even people showing up. But we were looking at each other and going, oh shit, you're actually class. Like, I'm your biggest fan. And then we'd all be each other's biggest fans.
That's
going, we're class. So we started off doing gigs for each other, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, and sure, people come after.
And do you have then like so who, like, because you're all, even like you putting on that gig, so that gig you did a gig in Kendy's in Thurles November, wasn't it? November
26th of October.
Oh, it was October, okay. But that was really cool to see, first of all, because like I know you'd kind of brought that kind of PX energy to many places, and to see that in Thurles was wild. Like, there was like the likes of Kev Cotter was my first time getting to know him at that, but like, he's obsessed with hip hop, and he was just mind blowing to see that for the first time ever in Thurles.
I know it was always important to me, like even years back when the Sweet Tooth things used to be going on and stuff. I remember I used to always come in do a gig, but I always envisioned in my mind that I was like, I want to bring it to a place where it's important, where people are going there now. It's like it's already ready-made. Because it's hard to place like Tipu, all across the county. Like, there's no investment in like dreams, or there's no investment in like, people don't think about themselves as being able to dream. You understand? Like, the only dream comes from like a faraway place. So the whole dream is to get somewhere. Okay, if I go to this place, then I can start thinking about stuff. Instead of being here and already thinking. I kind of knew that if I was trying to force the initiative here, it's kind of like Tipperary is like Ireland in a bigger scale. It's like, in Ireland you only make it if you get big in England, and then you bring it home, people go, you're in London. Tipperary is the same. So people need to see you playing Dublin, Belfast, Cork, Limerick, and then they go, oh, he's coming home.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just wanted it to be at a high standard or too, because
That's really cool.
I wanted to show the effort that I had put in and we'd all put in to it, and show how
show
good it
what's
is.
happening as well outside of. It's like nearly like you set sail on a voyage to go learn somewhere else, and you come back with the
100%.
knowledge to bring that like a valuable, not just what's the word, it is valuable, but just a full like gig, like, because I feel like Thurles still lacks like that's a gig that will stand out in Thurles, because it still lacks that kind of gig that has like a team to it, or a kind of like its own feel to it.
Yeah.
And you definitely brought that day.
No, I appreciate it, man.
No, it's unreal.
I was proud of how it went, and I'm
Yeah.
very happy at the way the place reacted to it too. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Even afterwards, the St. Steve's gig and stuff like that. Afterwards, it was mad to see how the 17, 18-year-olds on the place are very invested in it. Like, it's normal to them, but it's because they come from a generation where like it doesn't seem like it's far-fetched to just do something.
Yeah,
you know, they're coming from that group of people who just go, I'm just going to be a makeup artist.
Yeah.
And they just build a business.
It's
I'm just going to be
change, now.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's
like
class.
it's
Plus, to that group of people, it's one of the first generations where I'd say like hip hop is almost more popular with them than pop. Like,
totally,
you know, it's like when you look at like a lot of like 18, 19-year-olds now, it's all like. Most of our rappers, a lot of people wouldn't have heard of it. It's like people would be like, "Oh, why are people listening to pop anymore?" A lot of people think they still listen to like Taylor Swift and all that, but it's moving towards hip hop so much. Like.
Totally. But even further from that, it's like, remember when we were young, when you bumming around town and stuff like that, you weren't cool unless you had the warning from Biggie on your phone. You know, like it was like, and you go down the back and people be smoking buckets and like, what's wrong, Biggie? And it'd be all like, and that was the cool thing. Now you're not cool unless you listen to an Irish DJ, an Irish rapper. So now people are like, why aren't you listening to someone? No, he's from up the road.
That's
he's
mad.
Cool,
that's way different. Actually.
And it is
true.
That's really cool.
I think it's because there's more people do it. Like years ago, like if an Irish person like raps, people would just kind of cringe at the accent, like, Irish accent doesn't work for rap. But now that there's been so many people doing it, people can't say it doesn't work, because like everyone's met someone who's good at it. So it's like they found the exception. So it's like there's too many exceptions for that to be true. Like.
And plus, Ireland just in general was pushed to a place where we had to become more independent in everything we do. I think people realised that we were losing so much to trade. All our trades people were leaving, all this. That the only thing that's been left in the country for the last 5-6 years has been creative people.
That's actually interesting.
You're not smart enough to leave, because you think you could fix everything around you. You know, you think you can make the place better. But because of that, the place is actually getting made better.
That's unreal. That's one of the coolest things I've ever heard about the country. Like, that's actually unreal. It's a fact, though. Like,
it is. No, and it's just brought out the creative side. You know, depression, like all this kind of stuff that happens on a wide scale basis, forces people into a place. So becoming creative is the only way out of your own mind sometimes. It just reflects everything that's happening in the hip hop scene or the rapping scene or just creatively in Ireland at the moment is just a reflection of
what is it, Ireland?
That's exactly really cool. You know, and you know,
I think so. And what do you think, like, so there is a lot more support now, like, where people actually, I don't know why this is, but I feel like, you know, like the world was going really quickly to this state of like just losing any idea or concept of the thought of like supporting someone from near you or someone in the same. What do you think, like, switched where like there are a lot more people like like listening to, like, you'd be sure there's a lot more people that you know around town that actually have your stuff downloaded, whereas like if years ago, like, that was not, like, you just wouldn't bother getting someone I wonder what the switch was, because there is a lot more support for like friends and stuff.
Ease of access is one thing, like.
Ease
of access. Like years ago, like,
that's true.
You know, if you recorded something on like a tape, you had to send a mixtape around to people. Now you send someone a link to SoundCloud. Like, it's instantly accessible.
It's everywhere, and that's why you'd be surprised about how far it does go. And that's what I found with these gigs, that you don't even understand, because it's never just in one place now. People can get it anywhere. There's 15 different apps you can get it on. There's everything. Everything is free. YouTube is free. This and that. So.
And sorry, go on.
Limitless.
You never, like, the thing is, like, you put something on SoundCloud, you never know what someone else will click on that happens to bring them to your channel. Like, you could end up people could find you through the most obscure ways online. And discover your music. Like.
That's nearly like, I suppose, for the sake of getting your music heard, for the audience sake, that's a good thing. But like it's very hard now, I'd say, like, how do you know, like, which platform to put, like, because you're putting on stuff on every platform, which is mad, like, so it's like there's so much going on, which is a good thing, but which is definitely a good thing. No, it's definitely like
but it's a good thing for the art. It makes the art better, because and all that, because you know, once it's out, it's out. There is no, okay, put it out, oh shit, bring that back in.
Oh,
it's like it's
that's interesting,
gone, it's
actually.
out. You know what I mean? Like, and it's everywhere, and you're sitting there going, oh well,
wow,
move on to the next one now.
which
you
is
know?
a good thing, because I think like it's like one of the things is now if you just upload a post like Instagram or something and you're like, oh no, people didn't like it, I can delete that and pretend like it never happened or something. But if it goes out there and it's like stuck out there, it's like then you can learn from that if you really didn't like it in a weird way. Like
and you will always.
Yeah.
The point with, like, I'm sure it's probably the same for painters or anybody.
Yeah.
You probably look at the paintings you drew like 5 years ago and go, gee, that's you know. But if you're not doing that, you're not progressing either. So
that's a really,
you know,
good
for
way to put
anybody
it.
putting out stuff, if they don't like the stuff that they put out a couple of years ago, you're not meant to. You know,
Yeah,
so don't
yeah.
worry about it. You know what I mean? Like,
That's part of the reason you did that before was to do what you're doing. Like, how do you feel when you like you listen back to some of your older stuff compared to now?
I don't.
You don't.
It's not for me to listen to. Like, I listen to it as I met it,
Okay,
and it's not for me to judge it anymore.
Okay,
But it's good for people to see the process. I suppose they see you getting better, and I believe in that. I believe in people seeing you getting better. I believe in people, or like watching you grow and stuff like that, because that's all we are doing together is kind of growing up together and all this kind of stuff. So I don't really, but not out of any badness, but just because like I can't even identify with that person anymore because I've went through all that just to be able to make this song now. So the song I have now that isn't released, that's the one I'm listening to.
Okay,
you know, and then that's it. There is nothing else. Like, you kind of, it's like that. Like, if you go back to a painter, I'm assuming if a painter does something, he's not going to go back 3 years ago and go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to paint that painting again.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just done. It's you're going to do wherever you are now, like kind of thing.
Yeah, and just go forward from there. Like, don't get me wrong. When I'm 40, I'm going to listen to them back. I'm going to enjoy it. I always had that in mind. That no point stopping now, because when I'm 40, I won't be able to. Then I can go, look what I sounded like when I was 20. This is me when I was 19.
I think why you're going to always naturally, like, 'cause I was going to ask the question, do you think are you worried about like always being able to up your last album and stuff? But I feel like you're just the kind of person that's naturally going to do that because you're naturally not too worried about it. Like, I don't know.
I suppose I've gotten into a place where I don't have to doubt myself. Those kind of senses and stuff. But either that, like, it doesn't actually matter. I think it doesn't, because like that, if you're making it for you, you're making it for you, like, and other people are just responding to it afterwards, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's important to me to do this. You know, so because it's important to me, I'll sort me out first. And then everybody can come tell me what they feel like afterwards, and that's good, like, you know. I'll evolve from that too.
Do you create something every day then, or what do you do?
Pretty much. Even if it's
and what would what's the process? Is it just creating beats and then working over it? Is it like sketching, is it, or what way is it?
Yeah, kind of. It is totally, but it's like freehand. There's no, for me anyway, no formula. You just sitting out with a formula, you run yourself dry, like, because there's only so much that can happen. So just whatever way it comes about.
We were listening to your album or whatever the last couple of days in the office, and we're like, what I did like about it was like some throwaway lines you had, kind of give it and in your own accent and stuff like that. It really differentiates it from anything else. You know what I mean?
You do have that really
kind of unique style, you know.
And that's I think that comes from because I suppose the main thing about the human condition is that we think about ourselves all the time. So we're always thinking about ourselves first, and if you just kind of stop doing that and kind of just leave it be, and like, you know, it will be yourself.
I wonder, those throwaway lines, like, was that the first time you said it when you were recording it? That's what I felt it was.
Stuff like that. It could, like, it's
like you're just saying, shit, I keep that, that's good, like, you know what I mean?
It's the start of ethos.
It's so natural, like.
Oh yeah, none of that's rehearsed.
Perfect.
It's not written down.
But that's where the magic is, isn't it? In these little bits that you just, I don't know where they come from, but
exactly.
And you go, Jesus, that's brilliant.
But that's the fun part for it too, because you're going, that's.
And you get a little buzz then when you go.
You know, and like that, like, I've been lucky that I suppose with my family and stuff like that with music, because that's been fun for us. So I've just taken that into you just have a bit of crack with it.
That's
just
cool.
Have a bit of a buzz.
Are you constantly, like, when you're even if you're going and walking up home or are you just constantly, like, in the frame of mind of thinking of the stuff that maybe, like, looking at something or that's kind of inspiring you to maybe make a rap? Is it like all the time, like going? It's
it's constant.
Yeah.
And do you ever tell
awful.
them, like,
To dream.
I try. I've tried for years now just to slow it down. No, but like that, it's just not fighting against it. It's that we all operate in our own little way. So the world is a song. All this kind of stuff. You know?
Does it come when you're not looking then and you go, Jesus?
Yeah.
Does it?
Just take out the phone in the middle of a conversation.
That's
with
brilliant.
Someone. Give me a second. And, no, I'm not writing about you. You just gave me an idea. No.
It's like a collage or something of words and stuff, isn't it?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
It's all just little pictures for a nice big picture at the end. Yeah. And that's even where I try and see my albums and stuff like that now, is that instead of trying to make each song fit one after another, it will, because you're naturally just flowing yourself every day, so it will come in a day. And I just wanted at the end for all the albums and everything to come as, oh, that's a nice canvas, that's one, that's the picture. Jesus, that's my life. That's cool. And then you can just, I'm hoping I can just ride myself out with that. You know what I mean? Just be happy. You show my grandchildren.
That's amazing.
It's really cool to see like yourself and anyway, like I'm sure like this is probably a PX thing, but like it's really evident in your new album, Super Scumbag Mode, and Hazy's new album is Misha. Is that like you definitely did not like it's an album like which is like we're not seeing albums anymore in all genres, like people are releasing music like and then they're trying to make an album around one song that went well, but like you constructed what was always seen as an album recently, and it's so cool to see. And it seems like that's a formula like PX are going for.
Like, no, 100%. We definitely believe in projects. Albums, that's way more than.
Do you work together much, or do you all do your own thing and then meet up, or what happens?
Yeah, kind of a bit of both. Obviously, I'm taking away from it a bit because I'd be at home, especially for last year and that. Most of the case, you know what I mean. There'd be most, but there's always something kind of going on.
And getting feedback.
Always, it's always something going on. We just push each other to be better, because you're walking in and we just. Always innovating and stuff like that, you know. No.
Do you walk in and hear something they did and go, oh, shit, man, I have to go up my game?
Exactly. Like, but we all do. Every time any of us do anything, it seems to be that's the way it is.
That's cool.
I know. I'm very blessed with them anyway, and I'm sure we all know we're all blessed with each other. Like since like how much we've all come on individually since we found each other, like, and it really only started 18 months ago.
Did it?
It's been unreal. Like,
how did you like find your tribe or your group or whatever? You know.
I had to bully my way into Limerick anyway. I had to go there and just to hope for the best, because I just seen that it was Limerick. What I seen was in Limerick with their mentors, music generation. I'd seen Mankey's character development came out, and that was such a big deal. And I remember looking at it and seeing it was just different. But I could resonate with it in a sense. I was like, they were the best. So I was like, well, if you're going to do it, you might as well challenge yourself with and against the best. You know what I mean? So like we're all with and against each other.
That's really cool.
We're all looking to be the best. But it's like
that's really cool.
It's like a kingdom of many kings. You know? You know, like, but we more got together and was like, okay, this can be the true kingdom of Ireland now. Can be down in the southwest for creative culture. Whatever.
Do you think then there's like are the Soft Boy Records, is that up in Dublin?
Yeah.
So do you feel like would there ever be like a kind of a New York kind of LA kind of thing between Limerick and Dublin?
Well, we'd murder them anyway. So it's them who don't want it. Not us. No, not at all.
I know. It's just funny to see that like main action is kind of going Belfast, Dublin, and then down here in Limerick and stuff.
It is. Yeah.
Obviously, it's never going to be like an LA, New York.
We'll take nothing off the books. You never know. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say I won't be up for it. Like, no. If it started, we'd finish it. I know. There's a lot. There's other people there's a lot in Ireland to respect as well. So even outside of PX Music, we can look at other people and see what they're doing, and everything is good. The more people that are doing it, the better. You know what I mean? Like I just want everybody to be able to be creative if they want. Anybody who wants to do anything.
And there's a lot more. Like I think if you let go of that like kind of idea of, it's like you can. I think the best way to become the best is by like also be willing to kind of, you're not kind of worried about other people, because if you're worried about their progress and stuff, then you're thinking about them, not you, and you can never like. Their
progress will help you with it, like, because like even if you're gigging mainly Limerick and focused around Limerick, if there's a big hip hop scene happening like Ennis or Dublin or Cork or wherever, then if you go there for gigs, you're more likely to get gigs because someone else has already kind of built a bit of a scene there.
Yeah, you're building a scene.
And then if you are the best, then people will flock to your gig more than their gigs. So it's like you're all helping each other
build
actually
a scene.
be able to go to more than
And
just
if
your own town,
Ireland builds a, like Ireland is, well, it has now already a hip hop scene that it hasn't seen before, like, and you're all part of it. What was I going to say? Yeah, back to when you're talking about the lads, like, well, I noticed as well about watching you at Kendies, there was a good crowd at Kendies, but if none of the crowd were there and it was just the lads up on stage, you could be guaranteed they were having just as much crack, like, and that's why you could see that through, like, like it could have been literally no one else there and it would have been just as good of a show, because
totally.
you genuinely do enjoy it.
I love it, but like even just how beneficial it is for your mental health and just your soul in general, just to be able to get up and kind of get that stuff out and stuff. And I think you know, just you can either lead by example or you can lead to be followed. And you know what I mean? And it's always better to lead by example and to show people that, to teach people how to do it for themselves. Pretty much the only thing I wanted for Tortoise and Tipperary at the minute is I just want to show people that they can just do that if you want. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But then all you have to do is just be honest with yourself and just do it. Put in a small bit of hard work and you're off. You know what I mean? That the platform is there, and to show how you know, because a lot of people, this would have changed my life and all this kind of stuff. Like I'm sure my life would have went a very different route if I didn't have it in the first place. You know, I'd say I'd still be in Limerick, but maybe not making music. So it's like it's just it's good and it's healthy for communities to have a creative output. But it's just so like 15 year olds, because we know what it's like around here. We know that there's nothing here. Like it,
Thurles is, do you find Thurles like a mini Limerick?
But even to the point that Limerick has stuff.
Because it's
culture centres, anything. There's things to do. Like here and there is nothing. It's so deadening.
You really have to make it
like you have to do this. You have to be like E and do this.
We're gonna create it.
That's it. Exactly. That's what it's about. And it's just about that. If 14, 15 was they're dropping out of school, because you know everybody's like, you know, there's no qualms about it. Everybody's on drugs and selling drugs here. Tipperary has been kind of ravaged by that, and it was all suicide and stuff, but people are very depressed. But the only way 15-year-olds aren't looking at even their older siblings or their mothers or fathers, they're not seeing them having careers or jobs or businesses that they can follow up through or anything like this. So they're all just, everybody's selling drugs. So everybody goes through periods of selling drugs, and then you get in trouble, and then you're dropping out of school, and then you're taking drugs, and then next thing you know you're 22 and you're still in town. And
there's no
experience.
I don't think people realise how correct that is for Thurles. And we went to, was it me and you that went to like this youth forum thing to discuss, and they were talking about that, asking like, oh, why are so many kids in Thurles taking drugs and stuff, and it was all like, okay, because they're not happy at home and all this stuff, all the usual stuff, it's the way they're raised and all this stuff, and I just said it straight out. It's like, do you know, a lot of cases it's because there's actually just nothing else to do in Thurles. It's like if you take away, like, if you can stop them from doing it, but then what do they do now? Like, you need to provide solutions. Like, if you want,
you're asking them to stop taking drugs, which is loads of fun. Everybody can agree taking drugs, great crack. You're asking them to go, okay, now work 12 hours in Drew Valley. But it's like, oh no, but I like drawing. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Well,
because they all do have like answers. Like there are like, do you know, everyone does have like a creative passion and stuff. It's just they don't have the facilities to let that out, especially not in Thurles. So
no, I know. But even the whole of Tipperary, there's not one music course.
Is
and
there?
like Tipperary,
Is there?
No, there's no music, sound production, technology course at all in the whole county, and that's ridiculous. To the point that like Tipperary has always been famous and notorious for having musicians. But when Tipperary people are known to be good singers, you know what I mean, and they're not having music. They're not having music.
How easy and hard it is to create something from new, like the way you done it with Crewhig. Like, it's easy to do it. Anyone can do it. Anyone can start a music career or something if you have friends to do it. But it's hard at the same time to do it because it's just as easy as it is hard to do it. Like,
I guess a lot of that stems from, I suppose, a lot of it. It's like there's a lot of people that do know their creative talents, and one part that's not talked about is that some people don't have the kind of confidence to go for whatever reason, which could be just maybe like, I don't know, could have been like bullied as they're younger or something like that, vice versa. There's loads of reasons too, so it's like how do you like kind of help people that's the question really, is like how do you help people that do know what they want to do kind of be confident in it, like, because like it's very hard to be successful without that confidence, or to get something going without confidence.
100%. And even like for myself and that, like I've never always had like the confidence to do it at all. I remember my first gig, like I literally shat myself, like I was shaking so much and stuff like that, like, and it's not, I always just loved being on stage as a young fella. I was just doing the plays and school plays and stuff like that. I always liked on stage and stuff, but like confidence is taught.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You teach people confidence. You know, and
you must have forced yourself to do it though, or something.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it does.
Feel the fear and
what
do it
I
anyway.
had to force myself to do first was what I had to force myself to do first was force myself how to start thinking well about myself.
Okay.
And to like how to think well about the world and the country that I live in. Stuff like this, and it became a process to breaking down with confidence. It's taught. It's a taught process, and people thinking that you're born with confidence or something is
you're
true.
definitely not.
I think there is a problem in Ireland where, like, I don't know, it's like a lot of times you see people from America and stuff or other countries, people aren't afraid to kind of build each other up or to be proud. Like someone, like an American musician who's starting out could get down off stage and goes, that gig went unreal, and everyone would be praising them. In Ireland, if someone did that, people are like, oh, cocky prick.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't know if it's like because of like the whole pride being a sin from the church or what, where it came from.
No, we have the Catholic mindset, right?
Yeah.
The mindset where you should feel bad.
Guilt and
For
shame.
anything you should do. Anything you want to do in the world.
Yeah.
Oh no, you should feel bad. Did you ask God? You should feel bad.
Like we're listening
it's
to
in the Irish psyche, like
album, and we thought it was amazing inside the office, amazing, and like the usual thing, you know, you don't tell people how amazing something is like that. Number one, and then the other person goes, it's all right or whatever. No, you go, yes, it is. That's what you have to do. That's class. So it's like, your album's amazing.
Should you find that?
I know. I appreciate it.
That's class.
Yeah.
It's definitely a massive Irish thing. It's to be, and it's definitely, if someone does look at shit, like if you do want to be confident about what you're happy with, like, do it. And if someone says anything about that, it's probably because they're just lacking to get to that point of confidence as well. Like,
I think it's all jealousy though, like when people say, oh
yeah, but they have that
cocky, like it's just like you're just jealous,
but their jealousy
you're not cocky like them. Like,
I think some of it is just learned phrases.
Cocky is good, like
that's true as well.
Like, I think some people
100% respect people that are cocky. Like if you're cocky in what you do, fucking fair play, man. Like, you know.
I think some people don't even mean to be bad about it. I think it's the way they've learned to respond to it. Like if someone, they might even just say it as a joke. Like it's just something they've learned in their head and they don't realize. They're putting someone down and just like, go away, you're shite. They might actually, like.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I like to think people aren't just being bad. That sometimes it's just they've just learned to say it that way and don't realize it.
We've a lot to be ashamed about as a country. So I think it lives longer, not longer. Like think, and we don't sit on those issues. We don't talk about them. We kind of just leave them.
And they're massive collective things that have been passed down for. That's the thing. Everyone would be grand.
Like my grandmother and that, my grandmother and that, like not being able to, like, but so all grandmothers, so you know, she was in one of the mother baby homes in Moscow and stuff like that. But I haven't. You know, even just little things that people don't know about Ireland. After she had to give birth to a child, she wasn't allowed into the church because she was dirty, and then she got blessed. And we just had this idea that I don't know, everything that we do is wrong. But we just have this different way of thinking, which when the modern world, we're not ready for the modern world, what it was. What happened 20 years ago when it all just blew up completely. Globalism became normal. The world became very small. Ryanair started doing 10-euro flights anyway. Everything just closed out on top of us, and all of a sudden we were like, we weren't ready for that. Like we haven't worked on ourselves. You know, we haven't. I haven't even told him that he's doing a good job. He is, don't take him away. You know what I mean? That's
you're going to escape.
That's it. Like, and now all of a sudden we wake up 20 years later, and everybody's in Australia. Everybody's in Canada. You know, everybody's sitting there going, and like we're on the street. Friar Street is completely closed. All the businesses piss off because they're going, fuck these, you know what I mean? They're not even coming in and buying my stuff. They're still going to Tesco. It's like, why am I building this shop and now we're walking out to Tesco for? And it's like we just did not learn how to be proud of ourselves because we were oppressed for so many years, you know. And it's the same, but it's the same with any group of people, like some of my own people and stuff like that. When we come to, you know, the traveller community and even like immigrants when they come over here, we teach people not to be proud. You know, that you should devalue what you are to fit in with the normal thing. And that's just always been the case, And this is what is breaking down these boundaries. Like Cruig and all these music festivals and art centres and stuff like that. That's what breaks down all those walls.
Yeah, Ireland is at the same time, like, it is a fact, like, for like hundreds and hundreds of years, probably, I don't know, like, full history, but lots of oppression anyway. But, like, that does seem to have this weird positive turn on it now, where it's like as you're saying, like, everything seems to be coming out of Ireland, like, going from this green field land to, like, this real creative, like, there is festivals every week, 4 or 5 different festivals every week. There's just so many people. It's like nearly like people have just exploded and be like, nah, we're done now, like, we're done with all that shit.
Creativity.
Here's like a new kind of Ireland is kind of happening. We just need to, as you said, like, with the whole, like, you know, we need to kind of still let this new Ireland happen, but still have that our own identity and let go of some things, but hold on to some things that Ireland actually is. Like, we should definitely hold on to the sheep anyway. The sheep are cool. Shit like that.
Yeah, well, especially because imagine mushrooms to come after them. They're very good. You know? There's a lot of benefits.
And all the Aaron jumpers.
That's it.
But one of the reasons I think creativity is flourishing in Ireland as well, because there is a link between, like, people basically having a shit time and people creating things, like.
True,
So, like, when you look at, I think I saw a statistic about, like, when you're talking about, like, how much people earn, like, I think it was like 60-something% of Irish people earn less than 30-something grand a year or 40 grand, whatever it was.
Okay.
And it's like, when you look at, like, stats like that, and then you look at, like, the prices of people to pay, so people are getting are having, like, a more, I'm not trying to get into politics here, but, like, people are having a more and more kind of shit time, and I think that's what's boosting all of these, like, creative outlets, because people have nothing else. They need to do something big and go creative, because
lay it out, like,
their choices around them aren't good enough to get them out of the situation they're in.
Yeah, that's true.
I know poverty plays a big part to it all, like, and another unspoken thing about places like Tipperary is because they're not cities, so they're not dealing with a lot of people and stuff, but poverty is massive. There's more people in poverty here than there isn't. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's one of those that just like that, like, you know, you even don't know it when you're young, but you know what I mean, like, we in our family and all this stuff, I've some very inspirational people in my family who came from, you know, we all that thing, like the name of this podcast, coming from nothing to everything. You know what I mean, which was always a good influence for me anyway. You know, I've some mad people in my family who have built just themselves as people,
built lives for themselves.
Like, from nothing handed to them at all. But there's so many people here living in poverty just every day, and it's just normal. It's just become the norm, and so because of that, then, like, creativity comes from that, because you when you have nothing, you try to make something, and if nobody's giving you anything, if you're not getting handed anything at all, like, you have to make something. People aren't just going to sit in an empty space. People aren't just going to stand in a room just with nothing. Eventually they want to start ripping up the floorboards and start something new or something, you know, because you go star crazy otherwise. And I just feel like Ireland's is star crazy at the minute. We've completely lost our idea of ourselves and all this kind of stuff. We let the world in, and we're seeing, like, how they're living in Dublin, and we're going, it's so far from what it is here, but it's so close. It's like it's an hour, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's like, it doesn't make sense, you know.
And before, like, even going up to Dublin, you'd make a day out of it. Like, now it's like I could go there I could go get the train now. Like, it's going to leave in 5 minutes, but a good way of putting it is the world is smaller. Ireland's definitely feels smaller, but then at the same time, it does feel like, as you're like, it's a really good way of putting it. It does feel like the whole place is, like, just going crazy because we let the world in, was a really good way of putting it. I do feel like we're getting to a stage now where we're starting to kind of come to terms with all that kind of madness, and now we're slowly starting to be able to kind of grasp this, like, so-called, this kind of newer sense of Ireland, but keeping the old.
No, totally, because it's like in a family. It's like if you're the youngest in a family and you've been the youngest for 10 years, and all of a sudden then your parents give birth to another child. And all of a sudden there's another child. You're kind of going, the attention. You don't have the attention anymore. They're not working on me as much anymore. They're always with that child. It's kind of, we have that vibe, but we've let the world in now that it's like there's focus on everything else. Like, so being Irish or being from Ireland, it isn't so, okay, this is what it is.
It's not clear
at all.
No.
So you're kind of, you have these other things that there's more focus on this, there's more focus on that. So it's just put people in a position where they have to focus on themselves a lot more, and the people that are directly around them. You know what I mean? And there can be negative consequences to that, because, you know, racism has kind of made a bit of a comeback, and there's a lot of discriminatory ways and stuff. You have people like Peter Casey who can run for president off the back of pretty much saying that he wants to put travellers into a concentration camp. You know, that his whole idea was he was 2%. He comes out and says, you know what I'll do? I'll round up all the travellers and make them live in Phoenix Park.
That's
and
mad.
That's a concentration camp, and then he got 25%. So there is other negative ways because people are realising that you're not as important anymore. You know what I mean? But that's very important for the world, is that nobody should feel more important than anything.
But the kind of people who vote for that or on that side, I think, are maybe the last wave of that in Ireland. Maybe like it seems like it's after being like really like emphasised, but that might just because it's the last cry of the last generation who are afraid of change, because I think change is now a lot more accepted with our generations, and it's just the last wave.
Well, they have to accept it.
Doesn't matter whether they do or they don't.
Exactly.
We're here.
I'm still going to be doing gigs. Everything is still going to happen here.
You kind of wonder though why he said that, like as in like did he purposely say it or say it out of ignorance?
Well, I'm sure he believes in himself. I'm sure that's what he wants. Okay. He's coming from completely different.
I wonder about
words,
some people though. I wonder are some people that were some people just cynical to say just whatever the hell they feel like. I don't know.
It's hard to know if he believes it or if he's just feeding into that,
or does he
discrimination,
or is it popular? Was he just hoping to be popular, or what was the? I don't know.
I'm assuming it's a bit of both. I'm assuming sure anybody won't come out with any racist connotations if they thought it was going to make them more unpopular in politics. You know what I mean? So I'm sure he was hoping. He knew he could get some people. You know what I mean? But like that for me personally myself, like the 3 places he got voted into was Tip, Clare and Limerick.
Was
the 3
it?
counties he got voted into. You don't dwell on those things. You kind
Wait,
of,
where did you say? Sorry, Tip, Clare
and Limerick were the 3 places he got voted into.
He got nominated for president for because you have to get a certain number of councillors to nominate you. Basically,
that's a shame. Oh, sorry. I know what you mean. Yeah, councillors and stuff.
No, it's not even money. That shows what a good job we're doing, because it means that those who are against it, they're now more afraid of the fact of that
they voted.
So now because they see people like me, whatever, again, being a part of PX Music and being part of something bigger and being able to bring stuff back to the town. And
building a platform that can't be controlled or influenced.
Everything that is based off of, everything that discrimination and prejudices are based off of, will make it's not true. But we were always saying it wasn't true, but now we're kind of showing them like, no.
But isn't the internet brilliant that it kind of leapfrogs over all these bastards?
Totally.
And like you go, well, you actually don't have the control. You don't get to decide.
No, at all.
You know what I mean?
No. You don't get to decide what comes out. You don't get to, it's totally, the world is up to the people now. It's all in our own hands. You see that with so many.
And it creates freedom. And if you are good enough, you will come out. Like you will be the top man.
It doesn't matter what you are, where you're from, what you do now, what you've done before, all this kind of stuff. You can get over everything.
Ryan Tuberty, we're coming for your job.
Shutting down the whole RTE. Getting rid of them.
Rest in peace, RTE.
Getting rid of them.
No, but it is cool that in a sense, like in whatever genre, whether it's us building our own kind of talk show or thingy, whatever this podcast is, or if it's you building your own like label and stuff, it isn't owned by RTE, like whether they like it or not. So it's really cool. As you said, it's down to the internet, and it's down to the want for change. We're a cool time we're living in.
Yeah, we're a lucky period in time. It's like I remember before I used to think I'd love if I was around the 70s when pirate radio was around. It must have been brilliant. But we are there now again. Do whatever you like and nobody can stop you. And then they did stop them back then, bring in license. You had to be licensed and you had to listen to their shit.
You know what I mean? So the FDA now are coming out with all these laws for YouTube and stuff, but guess what? Someone's going to make a new YouTube. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a way you're wasting your time. Your time is up. Look after yourselves.
Enjoy your retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. Just quickly, what time are we at? Oh, it's 48. Quickly, I just want to get your opinion. What's your opinion on the difference? Do you like the new wave of hip hop? So what do you like to do you know the how do I put? So there's the new and the old side. Do you like? There does seem to be like the new wave is getting lots of stick because it's obviously like a thing of people holding on to, like, it's the same thing with people not allowing change. And like, how do you feel about that? Because I know it's a massive subject in the hip hop community, maybe more so with stubborn
Yeah, but even I suppose people who are in the hip hop, and I wouldn't even consider myself as part of the real hip hop community because it's more rapping and just music in general.
Okay, yeah.
I don't want to consider this is part of hip hop culture, but a part of what we do, a part of Irish culture. That's more where kind of
I love that.
I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Kind of in a sense, but I love all the new stuff. I used to like all the old stuff. That was the only stuff that was out. I think it's probably a big deal for people who are more fans of old stuff and stuff like that. And it's I don't know, like that. There's something you can do about it. You try and fight against that, you're just going to be left in the dark. You're just going to be like, people are going to be like, I don't care. You know, stay, okay, go over there then. You keep doing that, but like, we're going to do this. You know, so
I think it was that reminds me of like what you're saying is something you said earlier about that years ago when people were like doing Irish hip hop, they'd be like, you can't do it in an Irish accent. I think there's part of the reason for that as well is because a lot of, and I'm saying, not definitely not all of them, but a lot of the Irish hip hop artists, like a good few years ago, they were kind of definitely more really influenced by, certain styles from America because it was a new thing, and that was always going to happen. That was just the natural way of progression or whatever. But like, you have this whole different thing is like if I was trying to, like, I could listen to maybe German hip hop or whatever, some other, and I could say, that sounds more like American. Now comparing it to America, because I don't know where it started, but I could say that sounds like new American or old. I could, like, as you're saying, I could not put like you're doing it for Ireland. It doesn't feel like you're trying to fit into like either the old school or new school. It's a whole other genre.
The closest genre I could probably put a lot of Irish hip hop to is grime, but it's not the same as like English grime. Like it's like a really dirty kind of grime. Like it's sort of like there's a lot of that kind of real. Yeah, I do. I like it is mad. Like the first time I would have heard it, like I never thought of like an Irish accent with grime, but it was like it worked so well. Like it just created this really unique like tone and kind of sound.
We're notorious poets. But not even that, like the gift of the gab. From Ireland, we've always been known to be able to talk ourselves into anything. That's rapping. That's easy.
You've done this overseas, haven't you? You've like so like it must sound something completely different to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
People outside Ireland
must think it's amazing.
No, we've one of our members who has been over to Belgium to do a bit. I think it was Belgium. I think it was. He's done a bit. But we're playing in, I think, Bristol in the Paddy's Day, and we're playing in Lisbon on the.
Playing in Bristol on Paddy's Day.
But,
my brother used
to. There's
some.
I've heard a bit about it.
It's a good spot.
I wonder what the contingency plan is for that event.
Should we warn them in Bristol before you come? And where did you go in Bristol and where else?
And then like the 20th, I think, in Lisbon.
Lovely.
Lisbon, that's what it's getting funded by the government and stuff like that.
So.
But more on towards all that. Like I think the way forward is more investment from places like the government and stuff like that. Like you're spending 10 million on doing up the RDS, which is an international. Cool. It's the RDS. Cool. You can have stuff on there. Give $500,000 to 20 counties to build youth centres, to build art centres. And that's all we need.
And then you'll have the content to use your stadium later.
Exactly.
Without having to.
Exactly. Instead of having to pay Lady Gaga come over to play. Just it's backwards in a minute. I think more what we truly need, all councils need to be really down is because look, there's no point pretending there's just going to be loads of jobs again in Ireland, because there's not. And not in the way they used to be. Factories, the worlds were small. The industrial revolution is over. The kind of manufacturing revolution is over. That's all done. It's way cheaper to get anything in China. Way cheaper to get anything. They're still using sweatshops. It doesn't matter. It's dead. Sugar factories aren't going to come back. You have a meat factory here, and that's it. That's as big as it's going to get. So people want to get off those ideas and get into the ideas of teaching people how to teach themselves. And then once we teach people how to teach themselves how to do whatever you want, then you're kind of unstoppable. And all you have to do then is give a small bit of money to these youth centres, these art centres, to put into the people in the town. But not just like a building where you go, okay, we're going to have a PlayStation, come into a PlayStation.
A pool table, it's actually,
real things where you're giving people, you can actually give people actual opportunities through it, like this, with this, the technological revolution that's happening. Like teach people how to run podcasts, teach people how to set up radio stations, teach people how to link up online and go, you like music, you want to be a DJ, don't just be a DJ and do it at home, why don't you put out mixes and start a little talk show. And when you do stuff like this, you know what I mean? It all just comes through youth centres. So for all these 10 millions and 12 millions that are getting from Rafton centres and all this nonsense is how much will $250,000 do for a place like Forest if we get into the youth? You know what I mean? And we look at music generation in Limerick. The reason it's been so successful is because they going back 5 or 6 years ago, they got €2 million or something like that. They got €2 million put into it, and they had the right people over it. They had the right people around it, and they used it properly to the point that so many young fellas in Limerick who would have went down any road. You know the way Limerick was, and what got Limerick out of the hole of it being in this awful place that everybody used to think about was the fact that they invested into creativity. And now some serious artists after Rubber Bandits coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, not even hip hop, like the bands coming out of Limerick are insane.
Like, you have Emma Langford, you have all these people who were just coming from the place that they had been swallowed up by 10 years ago, but now they have these creative outputs that they can just go into. And it's not even that everybody has to be creative. It's just so that people, you can see around you that people can do something. And that just makes you want to do better. So it doesn't matter what your passion is. It doesn't have to be anything artistic. It doesn't have to be creative. If your thing is theme parks, say, until I'm 50, I'm going to go to every theme park in the world. I'm going to go to all the best of them. So, but just understand that that's what you're doing, and get creative with the way you're living your life. It doesn't mean you have to be creative with what you're doing or making something. Just be creative, as in, okay, this is and set yourself. And just what we don't do in Ireland is long-term goals. We tell everybody, get a job for now, that'll do you for 6 months. We should be working on a 5-year basis. We're asking ourselves, what am I going to do for the next 5 years? I done that 5 years ago, and I got to be where I wanted to be. And the feeling that you get out of it, and how you can teach others in doing that too, then that you just influence people around you. You know what I mean? But true influence comes from just being creative with how you want to live your life. And if that means working in Dew Valley, working in a factory 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but knowing that the end product is I'm going to go to Disneyland twice. And I'm going to go both Disneyland, and then next year I'm going to do Thor Park, I'm going to do this. If that's your thing, that's your thing. If it's skydiving, just find something that you think will be class crack. If you think that's going to be some buzz
and perfect, well, not perfect, but go for it.
Exactly. And then say I want to skydive all over the world. Skydive, and then do that. Work every day. But know yourself. Don't kid yourself. Know that that's your end product. And that's all we need to do. And I believe that comes through youth centres. That comes through art centres. When we get people in and we sit people down and go, well, you can just do whatever you want. It doesn't. Just because I can make music doesn't mean you have to make music. You know, what do you like doing? I like bungee jumping. Well, you find all the tallest bridges in the world for the next 10 years and work on bungee jumping all those bridges. It doesn't have to be.
We're not good at just that. We're not actually good at being good to ourselves. You know what I mean? And doing what we want to do. We just look at what everyone else is doing and we'll do that. Isn't it? And you have to kind of commit to it. Like, you can't just half do it.
No, I don't know. And like our education, I know I was in. You know, I was expelled out of two schools. I couldn't go to Enterlis and stuff, but I rebelled against it so much because it killed creativity and used to kill people that if they try to think any different, you can't. We just need a different way, and our education system isn't going to change. The secondary schools aren't going to change. The church is still going to be there for the next 3 years. So where we need to start is places like youth bridges. Like youth bridges is such a healthy way to go to school. People don't even understand.
I love that.
It just lets people be. Exactly.
Really love that. It's so cool.
It is like, and I think just like that, investing into your art centres, getting councils and stuff to put money into letting people be creative, so that if people are 13, 14 and they're going home and they're coming from these estates and they're saying, okay, instead of getting an ounce of weed, instead of getting half ounce of coke that I'm going to sell to all the older people that I know take it all, or all my friends and all this kind of stuff, people can go back and say, I'm going to be a DJ, I'm going to be a producer. But they have that outlet that can go every day to go do that, just like they would when it comes to hurling, just like they would when it comes to GAA. Well, we need that for artists, for artistry. We need that just in general.
I think so. And I think what the councils and stuff are missing out on as well is that you can be sure that a great part of why Limerick is getting more tourist attention in the last few years isn't down to all those articles of ganglands a few years ago. It's down to the fact that maybe because music generation, because of all the new music and stuff like that. So like like what we're saying is, yeah, it'll benefit individuals, but to actually benefit your town long run, if the council actually use a frame of mind of thinking long run, they'd actually see how much we could get out of. If like my thing is like, or like if we could like make creativity Thurles' biggest industry, that'd be like, and if Ireland could make creativity, because we do have the people in Ireland to make Ireland like a creative hub, we're getting all our money from creativity.
There was one thing we were talking about
industry
before as well about creativity. It just reminded me when you were saying about like being creative but not necessarily having to do music and stuff like that. We were just saying the whole thing of like people don't realise how broad creativity is, like
create a life,
and like the whole thing of like you can be, just because you can't draw or you can't do music or you can't do the traditional creativity things, you can be creative in the way you buy someone a present. You can be creative in the way you tell someone how to solve their problem. You can be creative in so many different things. But just because you can't draw or do music doesn't mean you're not creative.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like you were saying, if they brought creativity into like outreaches and stuff, even if you were someone who was never going to draw, never going to play music or any act or any of the normal things, you can end up doing something that creativity feeds into without you even knowing. Like.
Yeah.
And to teach people how to try.
Yeah.
Teach people
how to try. That's lovely. I love that.
Just like that's what I found wanting to bring it back to Thurles and stuff like that. That's why it became very important for me now to kind of give some sort of an outlet, and that's why I'm talking about, like you mentioned earlier on, about Kevin Cotter.
Yeah.
Things like that. I am in the midst. I don't want to use this as a bit of a plug.
Do.
Yeah, of course.
I'm hoping that my aim anyway for now, because I've got myself into a good enough position that I can. That I'm hoping now that come up to summertime when I start doing workshops here.
Lovely.
And then just try and I'm hoping even not even just
producing and hip hop.
Exactly.
Like,
just rapping, singing, anything. Because I have and we have the platform where we can get people on stage.
Yeah.
So if your thing, it doesn't matter if you're a 12-year-old. Bring your family in now, and you can watch your 12-year-old daughter or 12-year-old son go up on stage and sing Frozen or something, and just get that out of themselves. And that's
it. Also breaks the. I think a big part of it is people just being. Like, it gets people out of their comfort zone as well. That kind of. I really like that. Especially the younger to do that, the better.
Exactly. Because I just know that if I had that when I was young as well, where we could all be.
Yeah, if only we knew. What's the whole thing? Like, if only I knew then what I know now. Like, it's a fact. Like, so let's teach the younger people what we do know now.
Exactly.
Let's not wait for them to get to where they are to say, oh, if only I knew.
We wait till people are old enough to be like too anxious to go on stage. Whereas like you get a 5-year-old and say, sing the song on stage, like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. You know, they don't think about it as much. Like, whereas you get to like 16, you're like, oh, everyone's going to think I'm terrible.
Stuck in your own head.
Yeah.
You're already stuck in your own head, and that's it. That's about teaching people how to get out of their own head. And that's why I will be. So over the next couple of months, I'll be working towards getting some sort of workshop, whether there's going to be a certain facility or something, but definitely down in the park. Places like this, like open up, but I do want to try and find some sort of building that will facilitate it, that maybe once or twice a week, during the week, after school, and make it an extracurricular activity. Because creativity should be extracurricular. It should be outside of everything. It should be, but it should be inside of it too. So people can bring that back into school. I'm hoping to get 12, 13-year-olds who are going into first year, even younger than that, who want to come on and they want to be a rapper. So throw on this and just rap away, but teach people that that it can be done or whatever, but because we can give them the platform. So that's what we've done now. So we've gone to a stage now, we can give them the platform. We can walk into places and give people a platform that you can get up on stage, you can write a song, doesn't matter what it's like, just you can come and do it. And because I've seen it with Music Generation how beneficial it was for all those young fellas when they're all my best friends now. When they were 15, 16, how much all that benefited them was unreal.
That's mad.
And I just wanted to stage that, because this place is so ravaged by drugs and so ravaged by kind of the effects of what's happening around the country. The country's gone fairly off.
Still has this real clicky, like, people. Hurlers only hang around with hurlers because their parents hang around with these people. There's a really weird thing in Thurles, like where I think creativity and the stuff you're doing is a platform for people to possibly find friends that are more likely their friends. Like
and you're all from completely different backgrounds, and you're all from different places. You're all teaching each other. Like, I've learned so much off the boys by just talking to them and just knowing their life experiences and stuff. And I hope that they'll learn some off me as well. But that we can get people together in places like Thurles who have nothing else, and then teach them all how to get together and build each other up.
Yeah.
Okay, you can tell each other that, okay, there's 10 of us here, right? One at a time, we'll all go up a stage together, we'll all sing the one song we want to sing. When you come down, make sure you tell them that they're doing a really good job. But then be honest as well, tell them where they can do better. But also tell them what they do really well. Because it's too easy in this world to tell everybody what they're doing wrong. We should always tell people when they're doing right too. You know what I mean? Just as much as we tell them.
I think it's really important to teach people about creative is it's okay to fuck up. Like, you know, it's okay to fuck up. If someone says, you know, that wasn't the greatest gig, you have to fucking up there or whatever, it's okay. Accept that and say, right, I learned from it. Like, and I only realised that like in the last year or two now that it's okay to fuck up. When I first started my job in the vape juice factory, I was running the line or whatever, and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, right, I started panicking. I was like, what the fuck, like, and the owner of the factory, he was like, stop asking questions and just try and do it. And I was like, man, I really don't know what to do, and I started really panicking and getting anxious or whatever. And I did it anyways. I fucked up, and I cost him a couple of $100 quid in vape juice or whatever. And the owner was like, don't worry about fucking money. I'm happy you fucked up. I'm delighted you fucked up, because in having you learned that it's okay, like, you know, it's okay to make mistakes. You need to learn from your mistakes. If you never make mistakes in life,
if you come in do it for the rest of the week, see how you do tomorrow. But 100%. It's just about like that. So we're in a position now where, okay, I managed to get myself where I love the backing that I can get from my home parish, here, all around Tipperary, Limerick, the whole of Munster, the whole of Ireland. You know, I love all that backing. So try and show people maybe a little bit how you could just you know, get more started out of yourself. And then just give them that place where. So I'm hoping by next year we can be running little gigs, things where you're doing, like, even look at there's GMC workshops in Cork. I can't actually remember the man's name, but there's GMC workshops in there. I know him back from years ago, and he just gets children up, and they just have all these young fellas. Some of the music. There's a fella in a wheelchair actually with this other young fella, and their stuff went viral. There's just a little thing of them rapping just in the middle of Cork City, just with 100 people around them, boosting them on, and it went viral all over the world. And I'm sure now that young fella was sitting in a wheelchair. He's probably been depressed for most of his life, and stuff like this, like, you know, because it's a depressive place to be. Now people have given him such an outlet in himself that like he gets to go viral. He gets to see his video get responded to all over the world and stuff like that. And just that, like, with places like Cork and Limerick, they needed it so much. Like, we're here at that moment where we need that now, where people are still leaving. The employment thing isn't real, or the thing there's just more jobs. People are still emigrating. People are still depressed. There's still loads of suicide. There's more drugs. There's more everything like that. So we just need more outlets where people can go. And they can make it a real career if they want that. You know? It can be like going up hurling, saying, I want to go up and write music.
Absolutely.
You know?
So if you're 12 and you're living in Clonolty now, right, and you want to be a hip-hop star, and you're watching this, what do you got to do? Wait for this workshop, probably.
That's it, for €50 an hour, I'm famous.
That's brilliant.
That, like, just...
no, but if I was 12 now, I would do that. I would love it, you know?
That's it, but that's it.
But like, you're the trailblazers, and I think that's the thing, is about showing because we're not gonna get this information or confidence from the ones we expect, which are like government entities and stuff like that. It is just about us kind of taking our paths in whatever way, because we are lucky enough, or we've worked or done whatever to get to the state of having the confidence we do. Now we just need to do what, like, people that get to that place just need to do what they're doing and stay doing it, but also make sure you show the next person that they can do it too. I think we can all do it.
Teach people how to teach themselves. Stop teaching people how to learn from you. Teach people how to teach themselves, and then they can go home then and
I love that.
Do as you please.
What are you learning a lot of? Is it like is it software, or is it YouTube, or you know what I mean? Is it Ableton, or what is it?
Well, LMMS is my thing. Audacity, I use my Fruit Loops, whatever. I just use anything.
Mix them all around and play with them.
We're going to invoice all those companies for sponsorship.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get LMMS. I'm going to get that fella who made up that. He's going to.
You serious?
He's definitely going to owe me money. But
I don't know that program.
Exactly, nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. But I'm going to make it famous.
That's brilliant.
Is it old? Is it?
For that. Yeah. The one that I had was like a 2003 version. It was PC.
Okay.
Before anything.
Cool.
Like that, so,
and do you keep
Oh, yeah.
You have the same version that you keep using, brilliant.
I actually remember talking to you, a few years ago, a good while back, and you were talking about that program. I was blown away that you were making what you were making on it. Like,
it's a multimedia studio, so it's not even made for music really. But like that,
if it works, it works.
Exactly. DIY in this world now. Do as you please.
I think we're gonna finish up on this episode anyway, man. I really enjoyed the episode. It actually definitely felt like it was like. You know, I learned from all of them, of course, but that one was like everything you're saying was resonating with me. It's it's relatable stuff. I'm passionate about myself, so it's actually like
it's inspired us all.
Inspired us all.
Appreciate the support. Everybody out there supports it too. I love it all.
Yeah, where can people find you? Obviously, GavinDaVinci if you're looking for music and stuff on YouTube.
Spotify, Bandcamp. Buy it on Bandcamp if you like it, because we all get money off that, and it goes back into gigs, goes back into merch.
Your entertainment.
Stuff. That's it.
And
and that's it, 100%. And shouts to the crew boys as well, and everything you're doing here as well. And it's very healthy for the place, and I can see how it is. Even for myself, it gives myself a lot of confidence to know that I can bring it back home, and to know it's going to be something.
That's class. Thanks. We'll all work together.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to the Green Sheep as always. If I'm just curious if actually any of you watching or listening are actually coming to the Green Sheep thanks to this podcast. I think you should go to the Green Sheep, and if you do, tell Lucy his podcast. Not that it matters anyway.
Stop us getting kicked out.
Oh, it's Lucy really doesn't mind us doing it here anyway. But if you can support us by supporting the Green Sheep, we'd appreciate that. Anything else? You have anything to add?
And about Dustin, you didn't ask him about Dustin, did you?
Dustin the turkey, I forgot about him. I kind of had a bit of trouble with Dustin over Christmas.
Causing bother.
It's very personal. I don't want to get into it now. It's very personal.
Christmas is a hard time of year for turkeys.
Yeah. What else? Oh yeah, if you're finding it hard to sleep at night, turn off your phone an hour before you go to bed, and then try and sleep. See if that works.
Take sleeping tablets.
And brush your teeth. See you next week. That's everything from nothing. Yeah, so man, that was I actually really loved. Like, I actually enjoyed. Like,
that was good.
I felt like I was going. That felt like I was at a crowd meeting. Like, it was really fun crowd.